Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this June the 21st, 2023. I'm hoping everybody had a great Wednesday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Wednesday evening. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we talk about your forecast for Thursday and Friday. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. Also, we're going to take a look at the Watches, Warning, and Advisory map for your locations. Also, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center overview and a few other products they offer. Also, we're going to take a look at the tropical weather outlook at the end of this forecast cycle with Tropical Cyclone Brett and Invest 93L. I'm still expecting it to become Tropical Storm Cindy in the next couple of days. And also, we're going to take a look at the Climate Prediction Center outlook for temperatures and precipitation over the next 8 to 14 days. Okay, if you're a new viewer and have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Love to have you. Also, like these videos and share these videos. And let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks. And we're going to dive on into your forecast. Okay. As you can see, we got quiet conditions over Quebec, Canada. High pressures in charge there, down into Montreal, Canada. Toronto, Canada, also back over to Michigan, Wisconsin, down into Iowa, all the way down to Arkansas, and portion of Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky, and Indiana there as well. We got some showers up here around New York State, all the way over toward Boston. Shower and thunderstorm activity extending from New York through Philadelphia, all the way back to Ohio. Also through Kentucky and Tennessee, all the way back down to Mississippi and Louisiana. This including the Carolinas and Florida there as well. Also down into the Florida Keys, all the way back over to the Dallas and Houston area of Texas. Also back over towards central and western Texas also. Back through eastern Mexico, eastern Colorado. Also back in the port of Utah. All the way back into central and eastern Montana. Back over southern Canada as well. Down in the north and South Dakota through Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma as well. We got a few scattered shower possible just in northern portion of Washington State. Also over here in portion of Oregon. Also in the portion of Idaho, back down in the mountain range of California, and the northern portion there as well. In the red slashed area here, over here to the southeast, standing from Florida all the way up toward Washington, D.C. Flash flooding and heavy rain expected. Possible in this region. Also over here in portions of Kansas, but also back in the portion of Colorado and Wyoming and Nebraska. In the yellow slashed area there, under there's some severe weather possible. We have some mixed precipitation over portion of Montana and the portion of Wyoming. Also in portion of California as well. High pressure still pretty much in charge. Southwestern Canada, back through Washington, Oregon State, and the portion of Montana, Idaho, through Nevada, down into California, through Arizona, down in northern Mexico, also into the Gulf of California region as well for your Thursday. Alright, here's a look at your forecast for Friday. Got high pressure still dominating around the Quebec area, down in the Montreal vicinity. Also in the portion of Michigan and the portion of Wisconsin, through portion of Iowa, Missouri, down into Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama, western Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois. Also in the portion of Chicago, Illinois area as well. We have showers over northern Maine. We have shower and thunderstorm activity extending from portions of central Maine all the way through Boston. Also down in New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. through Virginia. Also back over toward Toronto, Canada. Also back in the portion of Ohio down to Indiana. All the way down into Alabama, including the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida. And the Florida Keys extended all the way back over southern Mississippi, all the way into Louisiana. Also into central and eastern Texas. Back through Kansas, Nebraska, and Minnesota. Southern Canada there as well. Sorry about that. Can't talk this evening. I'm sorry. But anyway, extending all the way back over to North Dakota, back over to portions of Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming as well. Also over here in portion of Northern California, Oregon. Also we're in Washington State around Seattle area as well. Red slashed area up here in portions of South North Dakota, back over to Montana, northern Wyoming. Flash flooding possible, heavy rain. Yellow slashed area there would be severe weather from Kansas all the way into portions of Wyoming, Nebraska, and South Dakota. High pressures in charge pretty much for southwestern Canada, just north of Vancouver. also in the portion of Wyoming, Oregon, and then portion of Nevada, California, all the way down into the Gulf of California, all the way down into Mexico looks dry. Also in southern Texas, all the way through Mexico, yeah, New Mexico, and also toward Denver, Colorado as well for your Friday. All right, weather radar time across the nation. Here's what the radar looks like currently. As you can see, we got showers moving to the north and toward Pennsylvania up toward New York, standing offshore in the coastal water. Scattered activity extending from Virginia to the Carolinas, back over to more widespread activity over Tennessee and down toward Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia, and portions of South Carolina as well. Also some widespread activity down here in portions of central and southern Florida as well. Some in the Gulf of Mexico. Some scattered activity over portions of Cuba, down toward the Bahamas, also down around the Puerto Rico island. Also Hawaii and chain, got a few scattered showers around the island. Central and southern portions of Alaska, got a few rain and snow showers there. Guam radar currently unavailable. We have scattered activity across portions of Mexico and also into Texas, all the way up through portions of Oklahoma and also into Kansas, all the way through Canada. Alright, let's move on to the watches, warning, and advisory map for your locations. We still have them flood advisories up here in portions of Washington, D.C. area and also in the eastern Virginia. Flood watches also in effect for western North Carolina, all the way down to South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida Panhandle. Also, we have some gale warning along the coastal areas from all the way from the northeast down to the Jacksonville, Florida vicinity. Also over here in portions of the Big Bend region of Florida there as well. Special marine warnings on the east coast of Florida. Also in portions of the Big Bend area there as well. Flood advisories also in effect for South Carolina. Also over here in portions of Alabama. Some flood warnings and flood advisories also in effect for Mississippi. Also over here in portions of Kansas. Also some river flooding still going on over here in portions of South Dakota. Also over here in portions of Wyoming, Nevada there as well. We have some special weather statements up here in portions of Michigan and air quality alerts from Wisconsin, also Minnesota, also northeastern Illinois, northern portion of Indiana, western portion of Michigan, and eastern and southeastern portion of Michigan there as well. Also some air quality alerts around portions of Missouri and the Kansas border. Also some over here in portions of southwestern Arizona. Frost advisory still in effect for portions of eastern portion of Idaho. Flood watches also in effect for portions of Montana. We have tornado watches, severe thunderstorm watches also in effect. Also with some ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings in portions of Wyoming and also in the portion of northeast Colorado with tornado warnings there as well. Also in eastern Colorado, we got a few severe tornado warnings are in effect. Also, we got some red flag warnings in effect for western portions of Colorado. Some fire weather watches in effect for southwestern Colorado and all of New Mexico. Also, we have a tornado watch for the portion of Panhandle of Texas, also into western and southern western Oklahoma and southern Kansas. Also, we have heat advisories also in effect for portions of southern portions of New Mexico, western portions of Texas, southern Oklahoma, northeast Oklahoma, eastern Texas, also back down into southern Texas there as well. Sense of heat warnings also in effect in the purple looking area, burgundy area there with some severe thunderstorm warnings also ongoing there as well. This area here, temperature is expected to be maybe to 100. Heat index, well, the temperature will reach around 100, 105 degrees with heat index maybe up to 115 to 125 degrees in some spots. So please take care of yourself if you live in Texas, because it's going to get dangerously hot and it's going to continue to stay that way for a while to that high pressure system that's currently setting over Mexico and Texas finally breaks down later on in the coming weeks. Alright, gale warning in effect for portions of central and southern Hawaiian islands. The rest of the island looks good. Special weather statements are in effect for portion of Alaska. Alright, Storm Prediction Center time. This is the Storm Prediction Center overview forecast here. This is what you can see here. We have general thunderstorm, like I said, with the Pacific Northwest, marginal risk over portions of the Central Plains, all the way down into Texas. Also, we have them ongoing severe thunderstorm watches, tornado watches in effect. Illinois, Indiana, all the way down into Alabama, Louisiana, to the Carolinas, also back into portions of the mid-Atlantic region, marginal risk over central and southern Florida, where some severe weather could be kicking up also this evening still in your region. Convective outlook, you can see a little better. Marginal risk down here along Florida, Gulf Coast, Texas, all the way to North Dakota, and there's that enhanced risk and slight risk to Texas. Current watches, the red boxes is the tornado watches. This is over pretty much eastern Wyoming, western Nebraska, southern Kansas, and the panhandle of Texas. Also, we have severe thunderstorm watches in effect for southeast Texas. Also over here in eastern Colorado as well. MDS discussion, that is currently where that watch was just issued there. That was a concerted severe thunderstorm watch that just issued by the Storm Prediction Center in Oklahoma City. Storm report from the Storm Prediction Center today, currently as of this recording. Tornado reports 5, wind reports 9, 0 was high. Hail reports 28, large was 6. Total number was 42 altogether. Look like currently the high wind report was generally over West Florida area of Florida. Also one over southern South Carolina. Also over here in portions of central Texas. Also one over here in portions of southern Kansas. And the hail report look like pretty much over southern Texas, the panhandle of Texas, eastern Colorado, and south and western portions of Kansas. And also up here, as we do have some ongoing tornado reports still, warnings in effect for that region. Alright, fire weather issues. Still got an elevated fire risk over New Mexico, also into Arizona as well for today. Alrighty, National Hurricane Center time, and then we'll wrap it up with the Climate Prediction Center outlook 8 to 14 day temperature. Alright, currently, this was at 5 o'clock. Brett, currently right here. The X, this is currently Brett had maximum at 5 p.m. The maximum sustained winds was at 55 knots or 65 miles per hour winds. Maximum minimum central pressure 1,000 millibars. Location is 13.3 north and 53.9 west, and the movement was west at 13 knots or 15 miles per hour. Alright, and we're going to take a look at this one. This is Invest 93L. This is across the central tropical Atlantic. Recent satellite derives wind data indicate the area of low pressure was located midway between the west coast of Africa and the Lesser Antilles, has an elongated surface circulation with maximum sustained winds of about 30 miles per hour. However, shower and thunderstorm continue to show signs of organization, and environmental conditions appear to conducive for further development. Therefore, a tropical depression will likely form during the next day or so, while the system moves to the west northwestward at about 10 to 15 miles per hour across the central tropical Atlantic through the early part of the weekend. Formation chance through the next 48 hours is high 70%. Formation chance through the next 7 days, high 80%. And that's why I'm expecting it to become Tropical Storm Cindy. If you missed my video earlier this morning, this afternoon, go back and watch it. You'll see what I'm talking about. Show the intensity guidance, and I said it will become Tropical Storm Cindy. All right, we're going to take a look at the track for can't even talk. We're going to take a look at the track for Tropical Storm Brett from the National Hurricane Center. This was updated at 5 p.m. I don't know why it went there, but I might have to go back. Okay, we're waiting. Okay, there's the cone. I'm going to try to show everybody the projected path of currently Tropical Storm Brett. Current cone still currently positioned the same position that it was earlier this afternoon. 5 p.m. Wednesday, that's currently where it's at now. Well, it was at 5 p.m. It's moved a little bit further to the west. 2 p.m. Thursday, this is where it should be located. You will start feeling tropical storm conditions over this little island here. Tropical storm warning still in effect for the blue islands, for the islands there in blue. The yellow islands, there's tropical storm watches. They may upgrade it to a tropical storm warning later. That will continue to, by 2 a.m. Friday, it will be past the islands. By 2 a.m. Saturday, it will be located here. And 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon, the center of rotation of the storm should be here. And the current models that we showed earlier today keeps it going towards Nicaragua and Honduras. But if it decides to go a little further this way, it can turn come like this, or it can keep on going straight and go on into Nicaragua and Honduras and El Salvador areas in the coming days. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on as the time wears on. Alright, let's move on to the Climate Prediction Center. We're going to talk about the temperature and precipitation outlook across the nation. Currently, this is the 8 to 14 day temperature. This was issued today from the Climate Prediction Center. You can see we got above normal temperatures over the northeastern United States, from Maine all the way back into portion of New York, back into portion of Boston and Connecticut. We have near normal temperatures expected from the rest of New York all the way into portions of Pennsylvania, down in South Carolina, portions of North Carolina, all the way back into Illinois and Indiana, and also portions of Michigan. We have below normal temperatures expected over here in portions of North Carolina through to Virginia, also in the portions of Michigan and Ohio, and also portions of Pennsylvania as well. Also, we have below normal temperatures also over here in portions of Wyoming there as well. Near normal temperatures also expected around portions of Wyoming through portions of Montana, South Dakota, back into portions of Nebraska. Alright, above normal temperatures expected for portions of northern Michigan through Wisconsin, all the way back into the Pacific Northwest, all the way down into California. We got above normal temperatures over in portions of Washington, Oregon State, also up in portions of Minnesota. We got above normal temperatures also down in Florida, also extending all the way back into Utah and Arizona. We got well above normal temperatures expected over Texas, also into Louisiana, also into portions of New Mexico there as well. We got above normal temperatures in the northeastern portion of Alaska, near normal temperatures on the north, below the above normal, central and south, below normal temperatures expected. Excuse me. Alright, we got above normal precipitation over much of the nation, extending from Maine to the Carolinas, all the way back into portions of Idaho, Washington, Oregon State. A little bit better chance of above normal temperature precipitation expected from portions of Kansas through South Dakota, back into Montana, and also into portions of Wyoming. Also over here in portions of the Northeast, from Maine back down toward Washington, D.C., and portions of Virginia. Near normal precipitation expected from much of Florida through southern Georgia, all the way back into North Texas, all the way back into western portion of Oregon and Washington State through California. And below normal precipitation expected over portions of Arizona, back into Nevada, also back into Texas and Louisiana. Well below normal precipitation expected over Arizona, New Mexico, and also into portions of Utah. Above normal precipitation expected over Alaska. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Everybody continue to stay safe and well. Consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos, and we'll catch you back in the next one.